All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the damn games, yeah? I got distracted. Look at us, man. Look at that. We can listen to Not Like Us while we review. This could just be my intro. That could just be my intro. Alright, Team Liquid versus Top Esports. So I was very surprised by the community. Like, I don't know, people are doing so much, too much, way too much League of Legends math. Like, just because Fnatic had the capacity to grab an upset win, so Team Liquid is a team that is better. It's a better team than, of course, their individuals. All right, Kendrick, that's enough. You distracted me. I'm starting to dance soon. All right. So Team Liquid as a team, for sure, is a team that, as a sum, is way better than their individual players. APA hit a stride in terms of the meta with Italia and then Aurelion Sol, and I think that Dion and Umti, like, I think the key thing is this is a well-led team and so forth. But the thing is, Fnatic is quite the opposite of that. Fnatic has a way higher ceiling due to their individual strength. Humanoid is a player that can find way higher peaks than APA has ever shown, right? And I say that ever shown because, till proven otherwise. Has ever shown. Humanoid has shown way higher peaks. Razor has shown way higher peaks than Umti. And June is a player that has been great. And additionally, the key thing with Fnatic was that Oscarinin played the best series of his damn life, right? And the key thing for me, like when I made my prediction, when I said there's going to be a 3-0, right? The 3-0, I think it was pretty clear-cut and easy because I couldn't imagine a world where Team Liquid is going to out-teamfight Top Esports unless they're like 10k goal ahead. Then I asked myself, can they realistically get such a big goal advantage? Maybe with something cheesy. But at the same time, this is a team that plays relatively the same thing over and over again, and they're going to contest the same picks on bottom side. I think that if Fnatic bot lane had a hard time, what is going to happen to Eon and Coach JJ? I just think that it didn't add up to me that they even would take one game away. So I'm going to, have my little parade because I called the clean 3-0 and that's it. Rundown, man, don't give me spoilers. What do you mean, bro? It's a rundown of the series. Well, like, of course it's going to be spoilers, bro. I literally have it on the screen, mate. We talk about spoilers. Come on, man. All right, game number 1. Team Liquid opened with the strategy Draven, Senna, Varus. I think their big hope was that Kalista is going to get banned here. Just pretend I'm doing a rundown without the names here, okay? This is without nameplates. So Top Esports went with the strategy to just ban mid laners. And the key thing here is that I think it showed that Top Esports has very little regard for their bot lane, It's like, Kalista, rundown, man, don't give me spoilers. I mean, TL running it down. Oh, okay. Thank you for the blessings. All right, let's focus up. Solution Army has an answer into Kalista. The key thing here in my mind, I think that they should have dropped Renata, Vi, 1, 2, 3, pick the Vi, have it as something that you're ready to slam in the Lucian Army. I think this 3, Talia, Ziggs, Aurelion Sol getting banned and you not capable of playing something AP and wanting to pick Tristana as a prio here is a mistake. I think that they picked Tristana to mask themselves against a potential Ahri pick because Tristana is good, similar to how LeBlanc masked them against the Ahri, right? Top Esports, Cream, I think the main issue with Cream right now is that I don't think he's playing the right champs. His Talia is meh, his Azir is meh, his Hui is really good. I think that his Ahri is really good, regardless of what that best of 3 showed, right? I think his Ahri is really good, Akali, Tristana, and apparently he wants to play Corki now, which I also disagree with. I don't like it. I will just start Epic Pen 1 second. I just need to have my pen. Game 1. Epic Pen is lagging. Epic Pen is on. You guys can see that. Beautiful. Let's jump forward to the draft point.
Cream not just giving that. They pull it all together. And again, the Urgot will.
So not that draft matters super much, right? But well, let's talk about it in a vacuum still. We have in this situation, right? We have Tristana, which I don't like. I think this needs to be Vi. I think it's just better. I think that you're giving too many reasons for Lucian to just easily play cleanse. Like Vi just warps how much this champion can and cannot do. I thought that's the whole idea and whole plan, and I was even surprised that Vi didn't come through here. What's the weakness of Vi? It's pretty weak, 1, 2, 3 early, but if you get the swap off, I think it's pretty strong, right? So in this particular spot, enemy go Trist, enemy go Mao, and then it makes sense to jump away from the Vi, right? Because Vi, I think against Maokai is one of the better champs against Vi, and Tristana can buffer out of it, right? And Renata can also come out, right, if you pick Vi here. Sejuani matches well against Mao, so I like the pivot, especially if they went Renekton here, but they decided to go Urgot, right? I think the key thing here is just that they ban 3 ADs with the expectation that enemy is going to match with Kalista ban, and then they would first pick Lucian themselves and play a matchup like this. But I think that any volatility in a matchup, if they're playing a 6, like 5-5, 4-5 matchup on bot, I think that Tobias was very happy. They just wanted to make sure that the game is about bot lane, volatile around bot lane, because they understand that Jackie Love and Mako is just way better than Eon and CoJJ, and that's a very fair assessment to have coming into it, right? Especially, you know, like they get Lucianami in this spot, and then they go Hui. I mentioned Cream's champion pool. This is the best champion he has into Tristana because he doesn't like to play the other mages, right? And then they go into 4-5 with Nautilus and Ashban. I was surprised that the Nautilus ban came through. I thought that they are going to ban like Rumble here because of what's showing. I thought that Rumble is going to be the best blind here with Tristana, Kalista, and then just pick something with CC. They can also maybe pivot to go Nico, but they go Renata. I'm not a big fan of Renata here. I think that if you pick Renata 1, 2, 3 to hide mid and then drop 4, 5, I think it makes more sense because you know less. And then the enemy will not pick Hui, and then you have options, right? But picking it against Hui, Nami, Lucian, like this is going to be a pretty hard Renata game in my opinion. The combo is good in itself, but you're picking it very late when you see more. It's a good one to blind to hide other champs, but in this spot, Tristana already invited the Hui, and that's it, you know? That is all, right? Do you think it's better opening the Varus rather than Lucian knowing the Ashe is banned? Ashe got banned. This is ban 5 and ban 4. So those are the comments about draft. I didn't like the Urgot too much. I think that Urgot scales too slow. I think this is going to be a game that is fast, and I think that Renekton does the job. I think that Renekton gives you the power that you need to get through Drake 1, Drake 2, 3, and then scale into 4, right? Especially because you have a good matchup. But it could be one of those questions where maybe Renekton is less preferred because Urgot does better in lane swap scenarios. So in this particular game, I did think that Team Liquid came out better out of the swap. Let's take a look at it. So Lucian Nami, they warded the bottom side and then they opened on top side, and we have a situation where both junglers started in their own jungle, Maokai starting. So basically, you have an opportunity here to do a defensive maneuver. If you're in a situation like Lucianami here, like you can do a move where you freeze the wave and then play for the freeze, and then you get level 2. You get level 2 on Mako, and then you base in Fog, and then Jackie will keep the freeze, and then they play for the defense. It works well because Sejuani is clearing the bot side camps, and she has free entry into bottom side. You know? So this is like an angle that you can play with, but they decide the plain and simple to just commit. Here, Team Liquid are a lot faster in making the wave crash. Jackie Love and Mako giga slow push this, especially when Mako pulls the wave like that. They get all the 3 camps on bottom side and they're crossing into top side, which means that top esports are now committing into diving the K'Sante. So now K'Sante is just abandoning, and he is abandoning because the enemy team is doing chickens. So he knows that enemy is going to have 4 into top side, and his team is not going for defensive play. Maokai is going to the bot side camps. And then we continue. So the swap comes from a place where Lucian Nami, they scale into this lane. Early levels are much better for Renata Kalista. Kalista, Renata, level 1, 2, 3, 4 is better. And then on 6, they can look for all-in angles, while Lucian Nami need levels to look to trade and poke. Here, if you're crazy, right, with Urgot, you can maybe TP to steal waves, but it means you are going to die because they see Kesante late and they don't know Maokai position. But you can safely assume that Maokai is not in position to dive just yet because you took all your bottom side quadrant camps. Here, the same thing. It's like Urgot and Sejuani, they're crossing into top side, and you can see that Lucian didn't crash the wave just yet. He didn't crash the wave just yet at all. So now we have the situation where Team Liquid are hitting the turret way earlier. They're already hitting. And Jakilov, you know, a lot of the minions are dying to the minions because of how slow they are pushing. Tobis was just very scared that they push too fast when Urgot hasn't arrived, and then they crash the wave, and then they can't dive the guy. But I think this was a moment where they overshot it by such a wide margin. So this spot, right, Meiko does this move where he takes level 2 and then pieces out. But he shared a lot of XP. I think 369 needed to be top a lot earlier, right? He didn't need to help on golems, didn't need to help on red. He should have just crossed while Maokai is farming. Team Liquid has played much better than top esports so far. See that turret HP damage as well. XP distribution is better, you know. Nevertheless, we continue. So in this moment, I like this move where support takes level 2 and stops sharing XP. I think that's a way better move, because JJ should take level 2 and stop sharing XP and should just be in Fog. If he's in Fog, he pressures mid same time, and Impact gets a lot more experience. So right now, Nami is in Fog of War, and TPing is not viable. But in my mind, a very key detail here is the moment Sejuani ganks mid like this, right? APA loses a lot of HP here. This is quite significant, right, for the lane. The moment Sejuani shows like that, Kesante needs to TP top. Like, he needs to TP top. Why is he not TPing top? Here he can gain so much value. Look at these minions. Sejuani shows. Maokai didn't show. Renata's on the wave. Urgot cannot TP bot. So this is a moment where Team Liquid could have punished and gotten an even bigger lead. But they're just refusing to TP. I think that Kesante can easily survive and get enough minions to survive against an Urgot, Lucian, Nami, because they don't have great CC. And even now, Nami showed. So the fact that the TP is not coming through, the TP is still not coming through, and it's taking some time for the realization. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the TP comes through. And it's very late, you know, he's missing a lot of minions. But nevertheless, you know, it is in the end of days. APA lost some lane position. Cream gets a clean tier and amplifying tone base. He's very happy in the matchup, right? And walks back. TP is back. Tian double crabs. And Kalista Renata match the base of Lucian Nami. Now on the Lucian Nami, they are opening into the bottom side because 369 and Impact are on the wave top. And it is what it is. Now the key thing is 369, of course, he has a TP advantage, but he has a little bit of less XP because Impact TP'd on the wave, and Impact, of course, shared a lot more XP on the waves, but when 369 just cleared jungle camps for no fucking reason. Alright, this is not too shabby, gets a fear in. So now, Team Liquid, you know, they are catching the slow push because, of course, Topis was bot lane. You know, they open on the wave with their slow pushing out. Team Liquid just need to catch this wave and all will be fine in the neighborhood, you know? It's like they're currently 1 full level behind, but this is a lot of minions they're going to catch. It's just important that they don't lose any HP while they're trying to get XP here. And then the lane will be fine, no issues. It's like they are 10 CS behind, but not really because it's 10 CS in the wave, right? So Topis was with that slow push, start the Drake, a natural base off of lane position. Junglers, as I mentioned in my lane swap video, they just need to play in tune with their bot lane and so forth. Now the key thing here for TL is that they need to have the confidence to push forward, but Sejuani just did Drake and they don't know the position of it, so Maokai needs to retake here with the level 5. He's going for golems, because here Team Liquid need to stack a wave and they need to have the guts and the space to actually aggressively push forward. Here Maokai doing golems, I don't like it too much. I think that you should make sure that your bot lane feels emboldened to push forward here, because you need to be able to build the wave. And Lucian shouldn't be allowed to get to level 5. Like, he shouldn't be able to like use his spells for free. I want the Kalista to be able to trade aggressively here, you know. Nevertheless, Maokai finally comes into Tribush, and now they pull this gank off. But the issue is that, you know, Jackie Love gets to rotate spells and they misuse spells, and it's not so good, you know? It's like Jackie Love just kind of outplays them, and they read, you know, the trade. It's like here they want to back off regardless. They want to back off regardless because they just use the spells, so the gank time is not good. Like if they ganked on the timer where Lucian has spells and he wants to do the swing of 5, it would have been a lot better. But Maokai doing golems here is just so troll. Why is it so troll? It's because junglers should take, if you need to contest river and golems is not going to change the amount of power you have here, then I think it's better to skip the golems and take them on the way out. He could have been here a lot earlier. They could have pressured a lot earlier. It would have been better. But instead they have this timer. I said this in the game too, like I appreciate that Dion flashes forward because I'd rather have people making mistakes forward than mistakes backwards, you know? At least there's some spirit here. But obviously this is very, very bad. Ion loses flash and it's terrible for the game. So yeah, Team Liquid, they use the Maokai to show up here and they use it to crash the wave. And meanwhile, Tian, they are cool, calm and collected. Yo, they can't dive us. You can just do your objective. Tian is getting a monster advantage over this, right? It's like Maokai was in bottom side and they didn't even get an edge here. And very crucial detail here, Lucianami stay to push another wave. They stay to push another wave. And look at Kalista Renata's decision here. Kalista Renata open on the Maokai side. And right now Urgot is posturing on the wave. And they are doing this to save impact from a situation. But honestly, he's doing fine. He's doing very, very fine. Tian shows on bottom side. Now Kalista Renata's opening. But keep in mind right now, 6 minions just went into the turret. They just straight up went into the turret. There's a CS advantage here of 70, like 70 versus 57, right? 13 CS advantage, and boom, fucking all the CS is dying to the turret. This is the wave that Kalista and Renata need to catch and start to build a slow push on, right? They need to do so. This is like a very big problem. And additionally, I have to highlight that I think that Code JJ from before, when he shared so much XP instead of being on Fog, you know, Eon is behind on XP and also did shared the wave that crashed as 3 when Maokai was around, right? So XP disadvantage here, if you see the purple bar here above, like below, above the HP of Eon, you see that the XP-wise is in trouble. So here, Lucian and Nami are now opening on the map. And the key thing is here is that they plan to go bot. But they are just going to say, oh, Renata's top, Kalista's top, we're just going to match. Because they have full information now. Now Lucianami that based after can easily decide to match. As we always say in lane swap situations. And now, bot lane is bleeding so much CS. It's like they managed to get the first blood here, but there are 4 people playing on the same wave, and Lucianami are going to be here to catch it all. And if you look at bot lane, this is a bot lane wave that is monster stacking into Urgot's side, and Kalista Renata farmed very little. You see this, right? You see this. Now Lucianami are now going into bottom side, and like here, they're going to start to slow push and build a wave. And in my mind, maybe if TL held the base here and open on bot and dove Urgot on this wave, maybe there's something to do, because like laning at this point here with all the XP that you just missed and Jackie Love getting a lot more because he's catching this wave now, it's tough, man. Look at Dion's XP, man. Jackie Love reaches 6. Yeon is halfway through to 6. They break the wave. Now it's a neutral position. And as you see here, Yeon, no flash from before. Jackie Love just pushes forward, uses his level 6 advantage, one taps him, breaks his spirit, breaks his soul. And honestly, after that, the game is just completely over. Completely over. The swap into topside was atrocious. The gank timer bot was atrocious. No TP into topside. And the core JJ share and XP, these are things that you can fine tune and do a lot better. But at this point, you know, with APA getting chunked on that first gank, Cream getting such a beautiful base, Sejuani being so far ahead of the Maokai, there's very little to be done here, plain and simple. Very little to be done. We have some all chatting action just for those who don't watch the games and just watch the rundowns. It was right here somewhere. I don't remember where it was. Here it was. There it is. 3 bans, question mark. Tian says, shut up. Meiko says, ha. LOL. Zzz. Careful, Tian. Don't int. Giga chat. Tian, I see how your team fight. Yeah. Cringe. it is what it is, you know. It's like I wrote on Twitter, when they realize why they can ban 3 mid laners, it's kind of crazy, you know. And now we have a death here too. Like 369 wanted to like break the wave. He wants to crash the wave. Like 369 catching such a big wave, it's already like doomed for impact. And that is from, of course, before where Kalista Renata opened on top side to create like a swing play. They thought they were Gen G, you know. All right. The rest of the game, just pretty fucking straightforward. There was a little kill here on Jackie Love. And here we have a nice highlight reel from Cream. Just in this moment, just so you know, he has Sarah's Embrace, Haunting Guys, and Mako has, of course, his Imperial Mandate on the Nami. Look how much damage Cream is going to be doing here with the spells and Nami E and the Imperial Mandate proccing. Rock and roll, you know, he's just completely one-shotting everybody, Cream here. And they win the Drake situation, even though Lucian is dead. Is there anything else? I guess there was a fight here that we could take a look at. I think the Team Liquid's, I mean, top esports position awareness, like there's an elevation of saying, there's an elevation of gameplay level in the point that when the best teams, they play around information and they play on spells and they play on range, and the weaker teams, they play on numbers. Like Team Liquid is saying, guys, they are cut off, we can play here, But top esports is just playing on abilities. They're like 4 players are aware that Lucian's cut off right now. The 4 players are aware of that. And they're playing to the range, making sure that the fight is not all in. They're throwing spells, they're kiting back. And they are going to gain traction like that and gain HP and make the enemy burn resources to push them out. Like a lot of, let's say, Western teams, they say, wow, Lucian is cut off on mid. We need to regroup. We need to run. Wow, say, run. You get what I mean, you know? But you see, like the higher end teams, they're playing on information. They're taking the leads. They're letting the situation breathe. You know, it's all good. It's all good. You know, it's all good. They're letting the situation breathe. And Lucian here, he's chilling. He's chilling. He's on the wave. Doesn't use dash. Kills the wave. And then you can see here the reaction. Tian is going in deep. And I think that here in this moment, I think that if Team Liquid play a little bit slower, it would have been all fine. But the moment Team Liquid use all of their abilities into the homies in the pit, like this ult, for example, of Renata, sometimes the gun with a single bullet is more dangerous and will gain more value unfired than the one that you hope to hit someone in the head with, you know? Jackie Love here, after the spells are used, just dashes forward. His 2-item Lucian. And KoJJ misses a Kalista ult, and Jackie Love is just kind of drifting. He was the mid laner in this situation, and that is all she wrote. Let's jump into game number 2, guys. For game number 2, we have Team Liquid. They're trying something different. They are going back to the drawing board. They're going red side this time around. Kalista, Viego, Tristana, they wanted to invite the Senna themselves. I really, really like here the adaptation. The key thing here is the adaptation from ESPORTS to ignore Tam Coco. I love the ignoring of Tam Coco. So in this spot, most teams just go TK versus not. But just because of how weak Smolder is, they just go Ornn. They go for a heavy scaling pick and also something that can actually pressure Smolder. Later on in the game, Tahm should accomplish absolutely nothing. And Ornn can block the Tahm Q. I mean, the Nautilus Q, right? And in most cases, if this was an aggressive AD, right? Like an AD that fucks, then it would have been viewed very differently, you know, sort of in case of the Tahm, in case of the Tahm versus Ornn. But here, Ornn scales better and is better against Smolder in general, so they know that they can get away with it. Very easy, very, very, you know, chill. They picked Xin Zhao. I honestly would have liked Vi more, but, you know, this whole series, Top esports is kind of chilling. They didn't pick the Vi only one time. Only one time Team Liquid picked Vi, and that's in the final game. In every other series, Vi has been permabanned so far, so we'll have to see how that develops. This is only one series, of course. Maybe it's something that TM just wants to play less. I appreciate that APA is willing to blind pick. I appreciate that he blind picks ASOL. Like, if you're a player that plays niche champions, like, you need to be able to be willing to blind pick them, you know? I thought it was very bold. I think LeBlanc Ari ban makes sense. I thought that maybe like Akali will come through here, you know, because you have like Senna ult, On ult, and then you have two good targets. But even then, you know, it's like ASOL buys a fucking Giant's belt. And then like any all-in potential is just dead, you know? So maybe Akali is just trash. I think probably like most players will just pick Orianna here. And I think it's much better than Corki. The issue with Corki is that
strong dueler. We like the Rek'Sai
Oh.
Broti is going to work out well.
Hey! We're back! Damn! They not like us. They not like us. Alright. What was the issue? I don't know, man. I think my Go XLR app just died. Alright, we're back. Alright, so we talked about draft. I wasn't a big fan of the Corki. I think the other majors are just better, man. Let me show you guys some crazy statistic here, man. I will show you guys. Look at this. Let me show you this. And then let's do this. This is Corki's success in the LPL. And keep in mind, like, the wins are like, you know, it's just really whatever, bro. Really, really whatever. So I just don't like Corki, man. I just think it points out the flaw of Cream right now. The flaw of Cream is the fact that my man, you know, Oriana, Azir, we mentioned it, right? I just lost my train of thought because of the thing. But nevertheless, they blind pick TF.
Now we just get to figure out if this Zord is going topside or if it is going to the hands of Mako, which is what I probably...
Let's go into the game. So we have the Rumble pick. Corki is basically like just a package monster. But it's just that you can never get first strike off. F369 using exhaust on the trade. Impact is playing TP. No ghost here. With the level 3 gank, right? Rumble. Like this was advantageous for Team Liquid. It's like undermines and Tian is trying to fix the lane for, of course, 369 because he's in trouble. Keep in mind 369 plays no TP. No TP. And Impact has TP here. I think it's very close because Impact has no spell here. Like he uses his spells. I think if there's a case where Impact keeps his spells and doesn't go into overheat, maybe he can just flash on 369 right away because, you know, he can just do it together with because flashing the Rek'Sai predict is very difficult. Like it's instant, right? So it's like, I think if Impact had spells on here and they could flash together on 369, I think they just win. So Impact would have saved the spells, could have taken it easy, and then, you know, it would have been a lot better. Because like this, Impact needs to flash so deep and he can't fight, of course, with his Rek'Sai, and Rek'Sai gets chunked too. There's a lot of minions as well. So we continue. Here, Jackie Love plays the situation beautifully. Keep in mind, Yeon TP'd back already. He's playing TP Flash. Look at Jackie Love here. The fleet footwork really saves him because he gets the move speed right. And then I think that it's very close to Dion basically has Q to finish him off here. This gank is marvelous, man. Keep in mind, Tian basically ganked top, cleared his top side, walked into top bush on the Impact slow push. And this is an Impact that just TP'd back, so he wants to crash his wave and then he'll enjoy his lead. 369, you know, Impact is he's respecting oh so much, you know. It's like 369 is so disrespectful in the way he plays, and he's playing on the wave. And then finally here, Tian is in the bush. Like, Impact is playing so safe. Like even wards the third bush because he's sniffing this gank out. And the punish comes through. And it's so bad, right? It's so bad for the lane. Here, he's slow pushing out. 369 can freeze. He has a big wave to catch. Like, it's such a beautiful gank, man. What a beautiful gank. Tian really outdid himself in this series. Like, he really, really farmed Umti's forehead and wined and dined on it. We continue. Here, I don't know why Yeon is challenging the guy. Like, he's just fucking queuing him off the wall. Like, it's crazy. You know, obviously, you get vision of yourself when you hit. And Yeon just loses all HP. And Tian is first into bottom side. Once again, I don't know what the fuck Umti is up to, you know? It's like Umti is just full clearing. And now he goes into top side when Zinza is no longer top side. It's like Umti is like fucking 1 minute behind what's going on the map, you know? Tian is now crossing into bottom side, and there's no dive situation on 369 who's just keeping the freeze. Unless you're planning to dive the guy, then there's no play. And Yeon, of course, just eats thunder, you know, the lightning strike right into his forehead. And then here Yeon is under the turret with 1 HP. Mako throws another rock with his Talia cosplay. Whoa! Then he goes out, and APA tries to save the situation, but it's a little bit too late, like that 3 days grace song. Now the dive is coming through. 369, I think he kept the freeze for a little bit too long. Impact finally manages to crash the wave, and Rek'Sai goes for the punish because APA was on the bottom side. This is solid. This is good gameplay. You know, this is good continuation. At least is not like, oh, I'm too late on bot, let me run bot again. At least he's not doing that move. He's like, oh, I'm too late for bot, let me create something else, somewhere else, which is cool. You know, they get the dive off. Crispy clean. Very good stuff. But still, you know, TF is pretty happy in the condition that he has ended up in. Top esports invade the bot side, take the blue buff. Now this is a classic Jackie Love Senna, just a Senna swap for the Void Grubbies. TL took 1, and now Jackie Love is showing. Tian just flashes, knows that Impact has no flash. They managed to cut him off. Impact wants to put information there, and then Ornn catches. Smolder Nautilus, of course, has no pressure on the Ornn at all, and they are trying to pull off a gank mid lane on Crispy Cream. But Cream has W, and maybe he thought to himself, there's some kind of dive angle here with Rek'Sai ult or some shit, but didn't happen. I think CodeGJ can't find an angle for the Q if they went for it. So already now, you know, the game state is pretty damn good for top esports. They are 1.5k goal behind. For those who ask, it's like, what happens with what's up with Smolder? Basically, Smolder's power has been shifted more to Q. So basically, his Q damage is very high in comparison to what it used to be, but the burn damage doesn't scale. The burn, like basically, the execute range is 6.5%, and that doesn't change regardless of how many stacks you have, how much AD you have. So that's what they've removed. But the Q damage is damn high. So if you get to rotate your Qs, your scaling is pretty damn decent still, you know? But it's not worth to play fucking Smolder at all, in my opinion. It's not worth it. But, you know, I can appreciate Team Liquid understanding that they are the weaker team and trying to find, you know, some unique takes in terms of how they approach the game. And, you know, they came in as heavy underdog. I think people were delusional to think that Top Esports was going to drop one game against Team Liquid. Because even Top Esports at their weakest, I think that they are not going to drop a game against Team Liquid. So the trading continues in the bottom side. I think here on the situation, like, I don't know what the fuck 369 is doing here. He just ults. He just ults on Impact. And Impact is finding, you know, solace in the fact that Rek'Sai is there. I guess 369 basically ulted to see if he has lethal. Real time, when I was watching this live, I didn't understand why the fuck he ulted. But now I see the fact that basically he's spotting Rek'Sai for the bot dive as well. Like, this is a very good ult. Because he is on weak side. They don't have info on Rek'Sai just yet. They don't know if Rek'Sai is basing and going straight into bottom side. And worst case, he can actually kill Rumble and pressure Rumble in this spot, right? Like basically, TP's on him, exhausts him. Here he tried to go for a little cheeky poke, but didn't get it through. And now Rumble is going to have his ult on cooldown. I think Rumble maybe should look to burn some sums here. You know, I think you can do a little nice ult, you know? All right, we'll continue. I think here in this play here, I think if Mako ults right now, this guy is just dead. Like, he just needs to ult way earlier. Mako just ults way too late. And keep in mind, the W of Senna can also proc the brittle. So the root range, root duration can be very long there. If he just ults earlier, Yeon just dies dry, no flash. And these are mistakes that you can't do. Kind of like, it's even worse. Then, like, Noah did some nuance mistakes, you know, but this is just getting hit by a dry W on a wave that you're not contesting regardless because your Rek'Sai is topside and TF just ulted and you don't know Zinza information and you're weaker 2v2. So everything is pointing to the fact that you don't fucking walk on the wave. This is a terrible, terrible rookie mistake, you know, and he should have died because Mako just misplayed. So already, you know, here in this moment as well, I think this was like the big comeback play, right? They have double TP on the dive. TP with Aurelion, TP with Impact. I think if Impact places the ult better and APA just goes through with his W here, I think they could have done a lot more here. Like, look at here, the Rumble ult, it clips too much of the wall. It's always important that the way you place your Rumble ults, it always needs to be in line with the hitbox of the walls. So basically, you never, like, basically there should be like a barrier around the walls in a way where if you ult like this, you're basically covering everything, right? I'm not saying he should ult like this. I'm just making it as an example because this little patch of land, there's no character with a small enough hitbox to not get burned by the rumble ult. So basically, you want to the best case scenario is that you rumble ult kind of like this, you know, because you clip through everything. Then you understand because they're not gonna kite through. You're basically rumble ulting all of this area at the same time. You understand? Because there's no walking in that corner. We continue. APA decides to W over and Impact flashes in. This could have been a monstrous play. Like, this could have been something cool. Maybe APA, if he waits a little bit longer, maybe there's something more to be done. Because look at the amount of damage here that Impact does. Tian maybe would have ulted him to cancel something like this. Maybe, now that I'm watching it. But maybe there was more to be done here. Like Rumble, look how broken Rumble is, man. This is a Rumble that has been suffering. The TP bot now. And now, of course, he breathes Dragon. I think here as well, APA just needs to commit all the way to Jakilov. I think he chase him. No flash, no heal. He can just go. The only danger about going is the fact that he's doing it into Fog of War, right? So he doesn't know where he goes. Like maybe Jakilov goes there. Maybe Jakilov goes there. So maybe if he goes for the safer play to fight with his homie. Thank you very much for the Prime Gaming as well. Excellent. I think the ES plays too soon, but Mako's also a little bit strong at this point. He's very, very fed. There's a bulky fucking Ornn that TP'd into the situation. APA eventually dies, and the saving play goes to shit. So Smolder TP stop because TF is just mining bitcoins on the turret, you know, like really, really annihilating it for the platings. Because keep in mind that was a 4v5 situation, 4v5 on bottom side with the Umti base. This was double TP into bot, so it means that 369 was just farming for free, right? So we continue. The final nail in the coffin, I would say, just here, look at the discipline from top esports. They're just using information so beautifully. They are contesting the objective as 4, making the enemy commit as 5, while TF is pushing bot for free. You know, those little details is the key reason why top esports was just climbing in gold lead all the time, is that they allowed their teammates to play the game. Like, if TF makes a decision to be bot, they're playing around that information. Everyone's playing around the same information, and I like that a lot. They cross to the bottom side first, because after the enemy, you know, did the little, you know, void grubs, they were just first on the bottom side because they had full info and they walked through their ward. And here, Ornn just straight up solo kills Aurelion Sol, and honestly, the game is just lost. The game is just completely over. Here's the Ornn horn, and Aurelion goes into the wall, which is, of course, not anything that you can do. And then the combination, full damage, Mako, very fed here on the Ornn, has Hollowed Radiance, and that is all she wrote. I don't understand how players can just get dry queued into WE'd. Like, it's like at the level of getting Q3'd under the turret by Kisante on top, you know? It's like, this can't happen to you, right? It's just straight up, this is not allowed to happen to you. But nevertheless, I think that's it. I think there's nothing left to cover here. Maybe there's some crazy fight that we can watch. Not really. It's like top esports is just dragging them through the mud. Game number 3, Team Liquid do another desperation attempt. The Jin Nami tech. The Jin Nami. If it was Draven Nami, I would have like maybe, you know, seen the angle. But this ain't it, you know. Let me just make some final commentary on the draft. I like the fact that they picked Vi, at least, you know. That puts pressure on Lucian. It's like the only champions that put pressure on Lucian and Zeri, like, consistently, is like Wukong and Vi. These are quite crucial champions. Kesant is good too, you know, Nautilus. You know, all these champions, what they have in common, right, is that like a lot of their kit is just guaranteed, and you need to have guaranteed against slippery champions, you know. So the draft situation, you have Kalista ban on blue, Ziggs and Talija, and they're leaving Asol open, and then you have Jin Nami. And they just slam Kesante blind here because, yeah, enemy has Jin already. It's as simple as that. It's something that you can do, of course, because 4-5, you are blind picking Kesante either way, so it is what it is. To go Asul again, they ban Ari and Tristana this time around, and they slam Corki again and Zinzao. Zinzao good pairing with everything on the map here, and they pick Vi. Last pick here against Kesante is Renekton. Give them some horse force, some power to let the Aurelion Sol Nami carry as hard as possible because you're magic damage heavy. But keep in mind you're playing Jin. So Jin is one of those champions where you can swap very well against because this champion only has 4 bullets. Only 4 bullets, right? Swapping against Jin, this is something I mentioned in my my swap breakdown. Like swapping against champions that are piss at hitting turrets, it's a very good move. So 369 is losing way too much HP. He's like really playing this terribly, in my opinion. Like he's losing way too much HP and then he doesn't finish his base ever. Like he doesn't finish his base, allows Vi to take a very greedy path. He gets cancelled so many times. This is very bad from 369. Very lazy, not so good. Now Impact is in top side and Tian pushes him out. Impact does a good move here. Like Impact is trying to do a greedy move where he's trying to get experience, right? You can do a cheeky thing where you stand here and get XP. That's a cool move. Tian spots him. Before Impact also tried to do the Ackerman. He actually got 3 CS because he did the Ackerman. Maybe, I think they showed it on stream, so I can go back and show you. Yeah, look at Impact. He's been in 3rd bush, and he's going to secure the 3 melees, and then he just double dashes out. Like, this is a very cool move. He gets XP here. Very nice, you know? So, we continue. I mentioned 369's mistakes already. 369 eventually TPs, and then Impact TPs bottom side because he can't be under the turret. Tian chases him out, Meiko chases him out, and just because Tian is here, Impact knows I can't impact this turret, I'm gonna TP bot. Right? TP bot to dive the enemy. Vi is very late into bottom side, and now this wave, big wave that they crashed. At this point, 369 lost a lot of HP, had to TP back, and he has EW. Yeah, the main problem, right, is that 369 doesn't really W anything. But it's very hard because like the W Renekton point blank is not easy. It's really not easy. It's like all the power is to Impact. But I think that at least you should wait until, of course, it's of course a specific scenario where you can wait for Vi to show because you know the enemy needs to chain W into Q, right? But looking back at the situation, like I don't know how Yeon or at 3 minutes has 11 CS. Like here already 11 CS, bro. It is a weird situation because like he's using his bullets to hit the turret, hit the guy. Like every bullet matters. Like this is like the Walking Dead, you know. Like if Jin had like a samurai sword that he could just like last the minions with, like zombies in the Walking Dead would have been better. But like I understand the difficulty of Jin here that you need to choose to harass, to hit the turret and last it at the same time is not super easy. But I think even then, like at this amount of CS, 14 CS on the 4th wave, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. You know, it's like Lucian has missed 1, I believe. And this is, of course, the 5th wave. Bro has no money on base, bro. He has no money on base, man. It's tough. Now there's a situation here where Jin Nami have a base advantage. Lucian Milio are a little bit greedier here on their play because they didn't base. So there's a tempo advantage here for Jin and of course Nami that are crossing into top side. and Vi is also matching, and Xin Zhao is also matching. But now they have base advantage, which means mana, HP advantage, and also refillable amp tone, right? So this is the moment for these guys to get some advantage. They need to get an advantage. So Jin Nami here, like, I'm surprised that Jackie Love and Mako decided to not base. Maybe it's a question of like gold. Maybe they want to base on Noon Quiver. He doesn't have enough yet. But they could have based off of that wave crashing, but they stuck around. A little bubble lands. Yeon gets a little trade in. I think Jackie Love goes too deep. I think this exhaust could have been placed better here against Yeon. But this is super good for Team Liquid. It's like Team Liquid managed to get the team that has no base. They managed to stay. They traded HP. They traded sums. Like this is a good trade because Umti is here on the spot and Xin Zhao, you know, like you want to create volatility to make these guys stay because when they base and come back out, you need to crash and base too, and then they get the initiative, right? And then they will be able to get Void Grubs, or they can decide to go Drake, you know. So this wasn't a bad trade. Here, Coach JJ is going to be able to heal them up. But this move here from Top Esports is so gorgeous. Now here in most spots, Top Esports is hiding into Pixel. And most teams are gonna tell their jungle, please just go base. But they read the fact that the enemy is going to look for cancellations. This is really nice. Like really nice play. Most junglers are gonna base in jungle. The bot lane says, we crashed the wave, no problem. And then here they base together on the same pixel. So they want to cancel bases, they get the kill, and Eon loses sums. And no joke, once again the game is over. It's like you have a Jhin with 20 CS, you have a Lucian Milio that are gonna have a thunderous base. You have no sum on your fucking Jhin, and it's very tough. Very tough. We can look at some of the highlights of the games. If there's something to look at. Here, I straight up don't know what's happening. Like, Yeon and Ko JJ, you have the situation where Ko JJ is already walking to mid, but the wave top is not crashed. Yeon tries to crash the wave 1v2 or something. It's so hard to read. 369 with the XP advantage because he caught so many XP, like so much XP both because Vi and Renekton was so late on the dive. This is it, right? Tian, I think here APA, I don't know why he goes melee. I don't know why he goes melee there, but I think it would have been 1-for-1 either way. Yeon on a slow pushing wave into enemy. Nami just abandoned him and he died on the wave. I think Yeon just needs to abandon and let Nami make the play because they're not crashing this wave in a million years, right? Like this Nami is piecing out because 2v2 they can't crash that wave against the enemy. Lucian Millie would get a freeze if they want the freeze, so he's trying to break the game elsewhere. Like Nami knows the game is just as doomed as us spectators know, you know? Let's see if there was something else. I don't really think so. It's just the story of the game always is that Top Esports do this move where they soft contest Herald as 4, making the enemy show as 5 while their solo laner is pushing. Most teams are gonna straight up say, yo, the enemy have this Herald. I am bot, I don't plan to TP, I TP'd bot. But I really like this, like really neat moves from Top Esports. They are soft contesting as 4, making the enemy commit 5 and stopping people from going bot for free. Like, for example, if 369 is not doing this, you think that Renekton is TPing? No, he's TPing bot. They are making it very challenging for Team Liquid. Because in a case where Impact TPs bot to catch that wave and lane against Corki, then Top Esports is going to hard contest. And that is the beauty of the soft contest. The soft contest is very nice. Very nice. Renekton TP's there, Corki farms for free, and they peace out. They peace out. They understand champion limits. They understand their situations. But in these squeezes, that's where you see the ins, right? In these squeezes is where you see the mistake. Wow, why are they contesting this while Corky is bot? You know, those phrases are a phrase that even I've said. But there's a lot of nuance, you know? It's like players are actively looking for these squeezes. And when you make mistakes in them, that's when you look very stupid. Yeah. I think that's it for the rundown. I think that, plain and simple, Top Esports outclassed TL in every way possible. I think Impact did fine. APA laned against Corky, like that's so free, so it doesn't really matter, right? It's like it's Tristana game, he didn't accomplish shit, right? He got that gank in once and Hui was out farming him and out DPSing him, so there's that, I don't like the Corky. I really don't like the Corky. I think that they should stay clear from that, but it is what it is. I would love to see, the issue here for Cream is that he doesn't seem to want to play Oriana nor Azir, so he's just picking Corkster. I hope they don't pick it into Chovy. I hope the same. I feel like Chovy is going to run through the ground. All right, so we can finalize with Genji versus Fnatic. I do think that Genji is going to 3-0. I think that every bracket stage, every first BO5 is going to be 3-0. I think the highest upset chance is G2, as I mentioned, maybe to take one game, just because G2 probably have like a repertoire of like clever drafts or like lane swap angles or something. I think if Fnatic take one game tomorrow, that is something to fucking celebrate. Genuinely, it's a really, really big thing to celebrate. I think that the issue is that I think that Genji will be too disciplined, and I think that the main issue is that the strongest point or the weakest point in theory for Genji is in the wrong lane. It's like humanoids attacking Cream's inexperience was like an angle they can play with, but this is Chovy. This is damn Chovy. It's not the same game. I think that the top side of Genji has been it's probably like the strongest top side coming into this tournament, and I think that Fnatic will not be able to break them. Fnatic can play very sporadic early games, and there's been games where Genji have very weak early games. So I think that is the angle in, I think that Canyon has had weaker games sometimes, but we're moving into cope territory, I think the Oscarini played really well against 369. If it brings more of that power, it could be really, really good. I also do think that Noah will be less pressured in this series than in the Top Esports series. So there's that. Maybe International Chovy is going to be there instead of LCK Chovy. Are we doing this shit again? It's like, let's do this shit again. Chovy, his last international tournaments, the only really bad one was MSI. And MSI, if you remember the meta, was Nautilus. It was Annie. It was Sandra. You don't put Chovy in this. And Nico. This was mid meta at MSI. Chovy didn't do well against Yagao at MSI. But if you guys remember Worlds, I think there's arguments to be made that 2023 Worlds, Chovy in my opinion, these were the best performing mid laners at the tournament. I think that Chovy played better than Yagao in that best of 5 against Bilibili. I think Chovy was much better. I think that Yagao had like good one Oriana game, but I think Chovy was better than Yagao. I think that they lost because of everything else in the map. Like mid lane was very weird, right? Mid lane was very weird at this tournament, in my opinion. Right? Scout shat the bed. BDD had a rough start, but then he played well, right? His Talia games, his Syndra games, right? They had a tough run. KT But I think Chovy had a good world. I just don't think that his team was on par, you know? If you consider this Genji's first time on this stage and Fnatic already used to it, does it have any effect? Could have, right? But we're going into La La Land, right? You know? We're going into La La Land if that's the case. Genuinely, if Fnatic take one game tomorrow, that's like insane, by the way. That's insane. I just want to like really set the right expectations. We should really, really set the right expectations. But Chovy being an international choker, I think is a bit of a joke, you know? It's like, we also had Chovy, like the worlds before, we had Chovy versus Zeka. That's where he fell out. And Zeka had one of the best tournaments of all time. Zeka is literally in the conversation of having the highest performance rating out of any player of all time in a tournament. Because Zeka, he ran through in groups. He had Knight, Larsen, who else was in that group? And then Gigabyte Marines. And then after that, it was Scoot. And then it was Chovy. And then it was Faker. And he outperformed everybody. He outperformed everybody. People remember this one the most. Oh yeah, he had Jiaohu as well. He had Jiaohu as well. Zeka clapped the cheeks of everybody. And then people say Meta favored Zeka too much, but the thing is, bro, like Zeka was casually the best Azir. He was the best Ahri. He was also really insane Orianna, by the way, at this. Like people remember the Akali, the Sylas, but he was casually the best Ori, the best Ahri, the best Azir too. He ran that tournament. Jiaohu wasn't playing, right? Like, for example, he fucked Chovy up on Ahri. He fucked him up. Like, I think it's sad. In the same vein, when people say Chovy is a choker, I think it's also sad when people say that Zeka is just a melee champ Andy, you know, because it really wasn't the case, you know? It really wasn't the case. Let me show you guys. It's like, obviously, he was fantastic, Silas. But his Galio game was monstrous. His Ahri game was crazy. His Orianna, he lost. He lost this against Scout. But he was fucking ahead, by the way. He was destroying the matchup. Winning the matchup really hard. His Azir, Akali, you know, very, very great, you know. But he was a very well-rounded player. You know, very well-rounded player. He was really good. He was just insane. He was like fucking rookie, bro. He was 2018 rookie at this tournament. Really strong. Like such a solid player, but basically fucking made out of marble, you know, like solid in not just a stone, like it just think of some expensive metal, you know. But nevertheless, I think we call it there, guys. I'm going to make a phone call.